Hey everyone, I'm Linda. I closed the deal, I announce, hanging up my phone in my sleek Miami office. Another beachfront property sold. 5 grueling years of fertility treatments hadn't stopped me from becoming the city's top real estate agent. At 34, I finally had everything. A thriving career, my amazing husband, Thomas, and a long-awaited baby on the way. "You're glowing, sis," my sister Pamela gushed over dinner. She had been living with us for 3 months since her supposed divorce. "I can't wait to be an aunt." At my next checkup, Dr. Chen frowned slightly. "Your blood pressure is a bit high," she noted. "I'm assigning Nurse Rodriguez to monitor you more closely." That's when I first noticed him. David Parker, the new night shift supervisor. He hovered nearby during my appointments, always watching. "Fascinating case," he murmured, flipping through my medical chart without reason. "He gives me the creeps," whispered Nurse Patricia one day. "I've never seen a supervisor so fixated on one patient." Then everything spiraled out of control. One moment, I was decorating the nursery. The next, I was rushed in for an emergency C-section. The hours blurred together. David Parker burst into the room. "We need to transfer the baby to Miami Children's," he declared. "They have better equipment for these complications." "But I haven't even held her," I protested, trying to sit up. "No time," he snapped, waving transfer papers at me. "The ambulance is waiting." Thomas paced, anxiety etched across his face. "Maybe they're right," he said, torn. "Let them take her. I'll go with them." Pamela stepped forward too quickly. "I'll go," she offered. "I'll keep you updated." Something was off. David avoided eye contact. Pamela kept nervously checking her phone. I signed the transfer papers, too drugged to comprehend fully. "Don't worry," Pamela assured me, but her smile was empty. "Everything will work out exactly as planned." I didn't know those words would haunt me, or that the next time I saw my sister, she'd be in handcuffs. David announced, "The ambulance is loaded. They're taking her to Miami Children's now." But that was the last anyone told me where my baby really was. The nightmare was only beginning. "What do you mean there's no record?" I demanded, gripping the reception desk at Miami Children's Hospital. "A baby was transferred here last night." "Ma'am," the receptionist replied, "we haven't received any transfers in the past 48 hours. My hands shook as I called the ambulance company. The dispatcher's response chilled me to the bone. "We had no transfers from Miami General last night. Are you sure it was our company?" Back at Miami General, chaos erupted. The hospital administrator, a stern woman named Mrs. Thompson, called an emergency meeting. "Mr. Parker called in a family emergency this morning and left the state. We're launching a full investigation." Nurse Patricia pulled me aside. "Look at these," she whispered, showing me the transfer documents. "They're signed by a Dr. Richards. We don't have a Dr. Richards. And there's more. I've seen David and your sister talking late at night, always stopping when anyone walked by." I demanded to see security footage. "System glitch," the IT tech explained. "All files corrupted during that window. Too perfect to be a coincidence." While everyone pressured me to move on, I refused. I combed through hospital records, schedules, anything that might explain the vanishing act. "Honey," Thomas pleaded, "maybe Pamela's right. Maybe we need to accept." "Accept what?" I snapped. "That our baby disappeared into thin air." One sleepless night, I searched Pamela's room. Under her mattress, I found a manila envelope. Fake hospital ID badges, one half finished. My hands trembled as I took photos of everything. The next morning, I cornered the HR director. "Show me David Parker's personnel file," I demanded. She frowned at the screen. "That's strange. His references don't exist. And there's no background check. It's blank. Every employee has a mandatory background check." My phone buzzed. A text from Patricia. "Found something. Meet me in the parking garage. Don't tell anyone." In the dimly lit garage, she handed me a crumpled note. "I found this in David's office trash." "It's a burner phone number," she whispered, "and look at what's written below." My heart stopped. It was in Pamela's handwriting. "Wire transfer confirmed. Pick up at midnight." "There's more," Patricia continued. "The night of the transfer, I saw them loading something into a private car, not an ambulance." I felt a chill creep up my spine as a car engine suddenly roared nearby. Headlights swept across us, and Patricia's grip tightened on my arm. "Someone's watching," she whispered urgently. "Linda, be careful." These people, they're not just hospital staff. They're. The screech of tires cut her off as the car peeled away into the night. My heart pounded as I clutched the crumpled paper. Pieces were falling into place. My sister, David, the fake transfer, the missing footage. This wasn't a tragedy, it was a kidnapping. And my own sister was behind it all. The business card in my hand read, Stephen Thompson, private investigator. When the truth matters. David Parker. Stephen tossed a thick file onto my desk. Real name's Daniel Pierce, 3-time convicted fraudster specializing in medical identity theft. This is our smoking gun. I breathed, feeling a mix of relief and horror. Oh, it gets better. Stephen laid out more documents. Your sister, she's $500,000 in debt to some very dangerous people. The kind who don't take IOUs. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Tom, the night security guard. Found something. Server backup from that night. Meet me in the basement. In the dim basement light, the grainy footage played on Tom's laptop. There they were, Pamela and David, helping men dressed as EMTs wheel out a small bundle. Freeze it there. I pointed at one of the EMTs. A tattoo on his arm was partially visible. Stephen leaned in. Known trafficker. Works with an international ring. They sell babies to overseas buyers. My legs nearly gave out. Wire transfers, Stephen continued grimly. Pamela paid David $100,000 the day before your delivery. Money traced back to an offshore account. But where did she get that kind of cash? Loan sharks. And they'll want double back fast. Tom pulled up more footage. They loaded your baby into a silver Honda. I got the plates. The address led us to a rundown apartment complex. Stephen's contact at the leasing office confirmed that Pamela had rented Unit 4B under a fake name. Stay in the car, Stephen ordered, but I was already moving. Through the window, I saw them, 3 men, Pamela and David. And in the corner, a baby carrier. My heart clenched. That's my daughter. The men inside argued heatedly. The buyers backed out. One man growled. Too much geet. I found new ones, David argued. They'll pay double. You better. Pamela snapped. Those sharks want their money by Friday. Stephen recorded every word. We've got them, but they're moving the baby tomorrow. Not if I can help it. I pulled out my phone and dialed a number I'd hoped never to use. Agent Martinez, remember that trafficking ring you've been tracking? I know where they're meeting tomorrow. And this time, I've got proof. Pamela's voice drifted through the window. By this time tomorrow, we'll be rich and dear sister will never know what really happened to her precious baby. I gripped the recorder tighter. That's what you think, sis. That's what you think. The following morning, just before dawn, the FBI swarmed the complex. The door exploded inward, agents flooding the apartment. My heart nearly stopped when I heard a baby's cry pierce the chaos. Baby secured. An agent called, emerging from the shadows with my daughter cradled safely in his arms. After 2 weeks of agony, I finally held her again. Target 2 attempting to flee. Radios crackled as David sprinted across the parking lot, a briefcase spilling cash. He made it only 3 steps before being tackled to the ground. And my sister? I asked Stephen, already feeling the relief wash over me. She's in custody, he replied, grinning. And you'll love this. Her offshore account got flagged. Guess who found her first? Those loan sharks aren't happy about their missing money. My baby. Thomas arrived at the scene, his face stricken with regret. Ellie, I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. I should have. Save it, I said, turning away, focusing on my daughter. Her name is Emma. The news exploded everywhere. An international baby trafficking ring busted, Pamela's booking photo plastered across screens, David's long criminal history exposed in court. Pamela tried one last attempt at manipulation, but it didn't work. David got life in prison under the 3 strikes rule. Turns out, he'd sold other babies before, but not this time. The divorce papers landed on my desk the same day an offer came to buy Miami's largest real estate firm. 5 years flew by. Emma grew into a fierce, beautiful little girl, and my real estate empire flourished, expanding to 12 offices across Florida. During one of my monthly prison checks, a guard handed me a note. Your sister got a surprise visit from some angry ex-business partners, it read. She'll live? Probably. On the TV, a news anchor narrated the story. A mother's love, a sister's betrayal, and justice finally served. I turned it off. We didn't need to hear that story anymore. We were too busy writing a new one, filled with love, trust, and real family. Revenge is sweet, but this was sweeter. What would you do if a family member committed a serious crime against you? Would you show mercy if they claimed desperation drove them? Or do you believe some betrayals are simply unforgivable? I chose to cut ties with both my sister and my husband, one for the crime, the other for doubting me. Many believe family deserves infinite chances, but where do you draw the line between forgiveness and self-protection? Was I too harsh with Thomas? Should he have been given another chance since he wasn't directly involved in the crime? Or was his lack of trust a betrayal of its own? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you draw the line? Share your perspective in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.